Welcome back to yet another interesting session with Be Good. I'm Elizabeth Annie Sleva, and today here we are to discuss some phrases that we come across in IELTS across the modules. And to discuss these phrases with us, I have here Mr. Abraham Burgess,
Hello, namaskaram.
who was in London for 45 years, and therein he worked as a barrister. Right. So, sir, you're a man of great experience. You have
Oh,
interaction.
please don't say that.
You have interaction with a lot of people. So tell me, sir, what do you feel as a humanity is the purpose of life?
That is a big question. When I expressed my belief to the church and to people of great learning in other religions, and I have tested all of them. Actually, I shouldn't say I tested. It wasn't a deliberate act of testing. It was a deliberate act of trying to find out what the meaning of life was. And frankly, nobody could give me a complete or proper answer because nobody knows. And that is the beauty, one of the beauties of life, because we are constantly trying to seek it. We are seeking it not only in the course of our daily lives, but we are seeking it also in the quietude of our minds, of our sleep, of our rest, and in our discussions. All these things contribute towards trying to find out what the purpose of life is. Well, to me, because I am not prepared to denounce completely the idea of God, because I can't be sure. If I am going to make a decision, I can't say no because I have got a very good reason. Here, I'm inquiring, I cannot get a reply. On the other side, if I say there is no God, can I be sure? Why do certain events happen? Unknowingly or knowingly. It's not the question of whether the earth is flat or the earth is round or whether the earth is spinning. It's a question of why does this happen to me now? Why did this not happen to me before? Why was I born this way? Why am I experiencing these difficulties? Why is it that I have a good time in life when I can see so many people suffering through life? Where is the balance of life? In fact, I'll be more curious about where the balance of life is, because the meaning of life is so uncertain. It is a very opaque or vague thing, and to me it does not have an absolute answer. At the same time, let us also examine it and think, meaning? Well, we are made up of emotions. We are made up of material of this earth. We regenerate, and this earth regenerates also, whether it be in the form of human beings or animals or forests or anything else. So we have a desire to regenerate. And we have a desire and a responsibility and an inbuilt duty to look after what we have created. Just like trees and other animals, we look after them, we stay with them, we provide the conditions for them to grow until they reach the age of maturity and are free to act as they feel correct for themselves. In the meaning of life, I get confused when people concentrate it purely as saying, oh, it's the purpose of God. I wonder then, does fate come into it? And that is a different aspect altogether. If it is not fate, why should God decide, God who is all-loving and the creator of you, have people who are blind, people born legless, people born with illnesses, people born into absolute and desperate poverty, people born rich but cannot enjoy richness, people born with all kinds of difficulties. Why is this loving God creating this? Is this a purpose? Is there a purpose? And if so, then seriously, I want to ask him that question. Okay? Because if he knows something, I'm sure as my father, he will not forget, he will not hesitate to tell me. But I need to find that Father. I don't think I will find it in this lifetime or any other lifetimes to come. To me, it's a journey, it's a passage of time, it's a series of experiences used in a constructive way to help other human beings, to avoid being a pain to others, being considerate of others, not being selfish. All these, to me, are the meaning of life.
So, sir, the next one is regarding assimilation of knowledge. What do you feel?
Assimilation of knowledge.
Right.
It's very difficult to actually pinpoint what is understood by assimilation of knowledge. Does knowledge actually here relate to what you have learned in school and the university? Is that knowledge? Does it mean that because you are not educated in the so-called classic sense that you don't have knowledge? Is it the life experiences and your education that makes knowledge? Is your lack of knowledge, meaning education and the experiences of life, not make you more knowledgeable? There are many questions that arise out of this. And to me, the assimilation of it all is what gives you knowledge. And once you have attained knowledge, you need to aim for wisdom. Knowledge is only something that you wish to use to enjoy yourself, to do a job, to compete, to stand out, to live, to exist. All that is important for it. But you reach a stage in life where, for example, you ask yourself, what's the purpose of it all? Where am I going? Does it make sense? And you find that confusing and very difficult to get an absolute answer. And that is where some of us then begin towards trying to get wisdom. How do we tackle it? Because it's a constant arisal in my way of thinking, in our mind's mind. And we are constantly disturbed about the fact of death. We are constantly disturbed about the inevitability of a passing on of life. How do we justify it? And to justify it, you don't have an absolute answer, but if you convert your knowledge into wisdom, you will find it as being a normal passage of life, something that you can take within your stride, something that happens within your stride, and something that is inevitable. And getting wisdom also is finding peace with the knowledge that you have acquired. Once you are able to get wisdom and you are able to put into context what all knowledge you have acquired in such a manner that it settles you mentally, physically, and emotionally, you are not going to say that knowledge is really useful other than for all the construction and the continuation of life. But if that is where your aim is, that is where you will be satisfied. To many people who give up the trappings of life and look to find from an early age, why am I existing? Why am I living? Does it really have any meaning? And there's a lot to read about it. You might go towards that. You might actually yourself find reasons to create that idea, to develop an idea of yourself, and that all leads to wisdom. Because once you develop an idea of yourself by yourself, and it gives you peace of mind, and it gives you satisfaction to proceed forward, to attain what you are actually seeking, even though you don't attain it, the process by which you go through it is a peaceful process. It is contentment to a certain degree, but like everything in life, it is not absolute. One replaces the other, and on and on. The earth is where we belong. The earth is where we go to. We come out in some other forms. We don't know how, we don't know why, but we do. And it is again earth. What are we but earth? And I think the purpose of life must not be found elsewhere, or sorry, must not be, but is best found in checking out what nature is and knowing what the earth is all about, and not confusing it with what somebody must have thought somewhere or the other, because we don't know anything about it.
It is really deep, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.